In the morning on the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Good morning to you. Glad you're with us. Peter Yacovone is with us, Creekside Fire Department, and this morning a little bit something different from the fire department and from, well, the Indiana County Fire Academy. And our conversation this morning is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row on the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Peter, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
That's good. Good to have you with us here in the studio. So this is an annual event.
Yes, sir.
That probably a lot of people don't know about, but it's a really important part of the 911 observance in Indiana County.
For me, yes, and for fire departments, EMS, and police, yes. It's a very big remembrance.
It's the annual 911 Memorial Stair Climb. It'll be happening on Wednesday, September 11th, 6 p.m. at the Fire Academy. What happens at this?
So what we'll do is we'll make trips up the tower at the Fire Academy, and we only count our trips up to represent 110 floors of the World Trade Centers. And
so you go up and back down and up and back down?
You got to go up, and you can't count your down steps. So you just got to kind of suck those up and deal with it. So you're looking at 36, well, it's mathematically it comes out to 36.6, so say 37 trips, floors up, and that'll represent 110 floors.
Wow. So who does it?
It's open to the general public. So Pastor Jack Lucas will bring his youth group down, and they do it. We get a few fire departments show up, and these fellas and ladies will either do it in complete bunker gear with breathing apparatus, or just do it. And some people from the general public just show up. It's a good time. We have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah. So for folks who aren't aware, it's along Fire Academy Road there in Center Township.
Correct.
Yeah. It's the Indiana County Public Safety Training Academy, and anybody can come. But this is a facility that is used a lot by our fire company.
Yeah, this is Indiana County's Fire Academy. This is where we do our training, or where the men and women here do their training at. And we kicked this event off. John Spadell and I tried to figure out when we started this, but we couldn't remember.
Johnny from Bolivar?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it every year since. They only missed 1 year, and that was because of COVID. And I took a 5-year break from emergency services, so I haven't been around.
Now, on a typical year, how many people do you estimate actually do this?
The climb, when I was real active with it, we were looking at about 30 to 40 people were showing up. Some fire, some civilians.
Yeah.
And some friends that I said, hey, come down and join us.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
And the aim of it all is, of course, to honor the firefighters and the other victims of the 911 attacks.
That is correct. For the fire side, it's 343 firefighters that we're trying to honor. And when we started this, there was a fellow from IFA here that was trying to do the stair climb through the organization, and logistically couldn't set it up. And I was at a training class down there. We were talking about it, and then it was suggested just to do it and use it, that tower. So we arranged it and did it. And I was always talking about Battalion Chief Oriole Palmer. He made it to the 73rd floor of the North Tower, and he was the only one that made it that high. So in my eyes, he was my hero of everybody.
Sure.
And that was in honor of him.
Yeah. The event, again, is going to be on Wednesday, September 11th. 6 p.m. is the time. And you go to, do they need to sign up? Do they need to call ahead, or just show up?
Just show up. Just come on down. I'm hoping this is going to be a big one this year, because this will be the last year I'll be able to climb the tower.
Okay.
So we're really put the word out a little better than what we did historically, to try to get military and police involved also.
Will your fellow members from Creekside be able to participate?
They better.
Yeah, get them there and get other fire companies involved. But you mentioned the youth group from Jack's Church, and you would love to have, I'm sure, young folks that would take part in this.
Yeah, one of the things that we were doing down there when it was small, and we had the time to do it, is one of the questions that we would ask everybody is, what were you doing when everything started? You know, when the first plane hit. And everybody would give a little speech about what they were doing and their involvement on that day.
Yeah.
And now what's going on is you get these younger generation in here. Well, I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, a lot of them were not born yet, because you stop and think that was 2001. And, you know, especially when you're talking school-age students and younger students at IUP, or younger folks who are even out in the workforce that are 22, 23 years old. And maybe not had been born yet. So it's important that they hear the stories of those who actually were there at that time. And from a firefighter standpoint, especially in Indiana County, there was a lot of uncertainty going on 911 because the power plants and the plane that hit in Somerset, and people were thinking, is this a target because of the grid and what the power plants meant at the time?
Yeah, there was a lot of mass hysteria going on that day. And, I mean, it was just a crazy day. You know, like I said, I remember what I was doing, and then they were talking about other things. And at the time, we could turn our pagers to an open channel and listen to the dispatching. And then the realization was setting in that every fire company in Indiana County was getting dispatched for something. And then we were getting wondering what was going on. And so they were doing it numerically. So when Creekside got hit, I called in, and they were asking for what, you know, they told us what they wanted us to do. They wanted us to man our fire stations for today because they still had planes in the air and weren't sure where they're at. And that was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, it was scary. It was a scary time, even for those of us who were far away in terms of where the crashes occurred. Everybody had to be on alert that day. And people need to hear that, especially young folks who weren't alive at the time.
Yeah, you know, when you look at the flight path and everything for Shanksville, it didn't come close to Indiana, but it came close enough.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an eye-opener.
Well, you mentioned Johnny Spidell. Those planes went right over Bolivar on their and past Ligonier, right over the golf course, and yeah, so it was close enough.
Yeah, that for what was going on, too close.
Yeah.
Indiana's had there's a lot of first responders that were on the pile in Shanksville. I'm not sure about the Pentagon. We can't forget about that one because that seems to get slipped a little bit too.
Yeah, it does.
I haven't met anybody from Indiana that was at the Pentagon. I believe there was at least one, but don't hold me to that one. We've got a couple local guys that were in Shanksville after it hit. Danny Sacco was on the pile in NYC. And I really tried to. He's out of town that week or today. I was really trying to get him to come with me today, but he had to go out of town.
Yeah. Well, he remembers. So many people do, and it is a chance for us all to remember on Wednesday, September 11th, 6 p.m. the annual 911 Memorial Stair Climb. It's at the Indiana County Public Safety Training Academy on Fire Academy Road in Homer City. It's just off Route 56, really.
Refreshments are being served by the Salvation Army here in Indiana, too. So we'll have water and goodies down there to keep everybody going.
Good shape. Good, thanks. Peter, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS.
The Jeep Summer Sales Event is going on right now at Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria, where the deals are smoking hot. The all-new Jeep Compass starting at $25,638 and interest rates as low as 0% and no payments up to 90 days, or as low as $329 per month with over 30 to choose from. $7,000 down plus tax and tags must qualify for all rebates with Chrysler Capital. And how about these hot deals? 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon starting at $58,778. That's a savings of over $11,456. Or a 2023 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport 4x4 Automatic for only $43,589. You're saving thousands. And if credit is an issue, no problem. They understand and have helped hundreds. Just call their lucky number at 814-948-7777 and ask for Tracy. And check out the rest of their inventory on the web at luthercdjr.com. Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria, where people still make the difference.
Come on down to the Hoodlebug Festival in Homer City. Sunday, September 8th at Fireman's Field. Start your day with a bicycle raffle run and a flag fly.